Sports Extra.
All righty, the second half of the Patriots regular season is underway, and so are we here on this edition of Sports Extra. Thanks so much for staying up late. I'm Maury Hirsch-Gordon. Mike Vrabel's group had a cachet check down in Tampa this afternoon, and what did his team do? They cashed that check. A perfect start on the road remains untouched, making another statement in front of a national audience in the form of a 7th straight win, pushing their record to 8-2. Let's fire up some of the key plays. Buccaneers up 10-7 right before the half. Pats run down the clock, and they go for it on 4th and goal, and the gamble pays off. Drake May up top to Stefon Diggs. Right foot, left foot, both on green grass. Pats up 14-10 at the break. Zip ahead to the 4th quarter now. Pats up 5, 3rd and goal. May rolls and is picked off by Tyke Smith. May 16-31, 270 yards, 2 touchdowns, and that INT, but his defense bails him out. 4th and 3 on their own 27, and the pass rush gets home to Baker Mayfield. Turnover on downs for Tampa, and then 2 plays later, Travion Henderson ices it. 69 yards for his 2nd score on the day. He went for 150 total yards. Pats take it 28-23. Now 8-2 after their 7th straight win. Longest winning streak since 2021. To put a bow on Week 10, we go to Tampa and Marley Weirda.
With the Patriots down 10-7, it was 4th and goal for them with just seconds left in the half. But instead of playing it safe and kicking a field goal, they decided to roll the dice. Drake May connected with Stefon Diggs for a clutch 4th down touchdown play that not only flipped the scoreboard, but set the tone for the Pats moving forward in a game that really tested their physicality and grit.
Anything in life, you're going to have to certainly put some chips in the pot to be able to win something. You can't sit around and wait and hope that they, just hand it to you. And sometimes you can, but most of the time in life, you got to be able to risk something to get something in return. So you can't win nothing you don't put in the middle.
It was a tough game. It was a really tough game, and we knew it was going to be tough going into it. And a lot of ups and downs during that game. They fought hard. We all fought hard, and we're a team. And so I couldn't have done it without those guys and the guys up front.
So proud of this team. Just every week we're fighting. Some things aren't going our way. We're handling adversity, battling adversity. Defense is stepping up. What a complete game. That's what we said all week. Show up for 60 minutes. It was a good football team. We knew if we got up, they were going to come back, and they came marching back. And just proud of the guys for standing up, especially our defense with a big stop. And just proud of this team.
This is the kind of win that carries some weight for the Patriots. They're on the road here in Tampa, going against the NFC-leading Buccaneers, going against another elite quarterback in Baker Mayfield, and they leave with their 7th straight win. They remain undefeated on the road and are now sitting comfortably atop the AFC East. For Sports Extra, I'm Marley Weirda.
All right, that's Marley Weirda from Raymond James Stadium. And we've got the newest edition of the 7 Sports team here. Ari Alexander staying up late talking Patriots live tonight here with us in studio. And Ari, the Patriots are now 2 for 2 in big-time nationally televised games, picking up a win in Buffalo and today in Tampa. And the number 1 p.m. game today, going into some tough environments, stacking up against some good teams and showing what they're all about. What kind of statement did the Patriots make about themselves today down in Tampa?
Yeah, this is the statement that you can beat good teams. You can do it once. They beat the Bills. And then you have 4 straight games against teams. 3 of the 4, not very good. The Falcons or whatever. The rest of the teams are teams you should beat. And you look at that, they're 3-2. They have those coming up. And you believe that those are winnable games for the Patriots. This one, not necessarily. You're on the road. The Bucs are clearly very good. They have a legitimate quarterback. That's just something the Patriots haven't seen for a few weeks now. A high-level QB the way that Baker Mayfield is. And they kind of did everything right. The offense looked very good against what is a feisty defense. You had some plays where the big ones from the young guys, Travion Henderson, looked phenomenal, who's, I believe, needs to get way more snaps than he's been getting from Mike Vrabel and this team. But you made the statement that the Bills win was not a fluke. You went into Tampa, you beat a very, very good team, and now I think the whole national landscape needs to take the Patriots seriously.
Yeah, and 2 of the next 3 are at night for the Patriots. They've got a Thursday home date with the Jets, and then December 1st, it's Monday Night Football against the New York Football Giants. All right, we're talking about Mike Vrabel and the statement that he made in this one and his team. How about going for it on 4th and 1 from his own 43 on the Pats' first drive of the game, then slow playing it before the half to wind down the clock, and then you let Drake May hit Stephon Diggs for a score on 4th and goal from the 1. How did his team take on his style today down in Tampa?
It's perfect because you're playing with house money, and he knows he's playing with house money. They're ahead of schedule. Everybody knows they're ahead of schedule. No one going into the season, in your wildest dreams, Patriots fans, were thinking, all right, we're going to be 8-2 after 10 games. Nobody, come on, like, be realistic.
No shot.
And so Mike Vrabel knows that he is playing with house money, that even if you lose this game, you're still 7-3. You're still in a great spot. You got a lot of help from the Buffalo Bills, who did not look good against the Miami Dolphins, and so you can take those kinds of risks. And if it doesn't go well, who's going to criticize Mike Vrabel for trying to win when the team is already doing significantly better than anyone expected? And so this aggressiveness paid off. Even if it didn't, I just don't think it matters, because you're playing in a situation where it's just going much better than everyone expected. Drake May probably a little bit ahead of schedule. The team, as we know, is way ahead of schedule. And they got the right guys for this. You want a gambler? Give me Stephon Diggs. He's the kind of guy that can make those plays. He's the kind of guy that can teach the younger guys to have confidence in the situations to make plays like that. So as you mentioned, Mike Vrabel, his personality shining. I think in that receiver room, Stephon Diggs' personality is starting to rub off on some of these guys too.
For sure, and they're getting their money's worth. Not only was he on the field week 1 after tearing his ACL in week 8 last year, he's really taken on that leadership role off the field with a lot of young guys in that receiver room. All right, the quarterback, Drake May, not at his best start to finish a full 60 today, but he still had MVP moments. He had the 2 huge touchdown throws, and then in the 4th quarter on 3rd and 14, a beautiful deep ball there to Mac Hollins that nearly sealed the game up. Yes, he threw a bad interception later in the drive in the red zone. But isn't this what great quarterbacks do? They are the reason teams win. They're not just keeping their hands at 10-2.
Yeah, May was impressive for most of the game. The pick was obviously real bad, but I was impressed with the deep ball. For someone who, I'm new here, I haven't seen Drake May quite as much, you watch just the way where he puts that deep ball to Mac Hollins was really impressive. The interception was bad, but it's something that I think is fixable for him, because as I'm watching that play, that's such a young guy, hasn't been in the league, seen defenses all the time, kind of a throw of just trying to do too much, make the play, trying to do something. I think 3, 4, 5 years down the line, Drake May is not making that throw. He's throwing it away. Know the situation, right? They have a chance to be up 8. If you just throw it away, you take the field goal. And that's just him trying to kind of kill it, get the game done. A older quarterback, a more wizened QB doesn't make that throw. I think down the line, that's something that Drake May is going to end up doing. Less accurate today. Largely, though, he did the job, right? You go into a hostile environment on the road against a good team, feisty defense. Like, they have talent. Vita Vea is excellent. They have a pass rush. They have a good secondary. Antoine Winfield Jr. is a great player. And your receiving core, other than Stephon Diggs, is either castaways, guys like Mac Hollins, or younger guys that you throw together like Pop Douglas. And he's going out there and winning games with, this is not the sexiest receiving core. You have a backup rookie running back who everyone has complained about his pass protect. Only 1 sack for Drake May, had the 1 bad interception, but largely did the job, got the win. That's what you want from your QB.
Yeah, it seems to be the right mesh of guys right now, and maybe that's a reason why they didn't want to throw anybody else in the locker room at Tuesday's trade deadline, and they kind of stood pat there. A couple of the new guys in the mix today, a couple of the rookies, a pair of them coming up big. First, we've got to talk about the running back, TreVeyon Henderson. You were talking about it earlier. You're one of many people who's been clamoring about TreVeyon Henderson getting more touches. Well, today he finally breaks out after a good couple of games. The last couple of weeks, 14 carries, 147 yards, touchdowns of 55 and 69 yards. And he shows that breakaway speed, Ari. We haven't really seen big-time speed that can affect at the skill positions here in quite some time. And then you talk about the IQ play that he made coming down the sideline there at the end, looking over to the coaching staff. Hey, should I slide? Should I go into the end zone? You know, it's late in the game. What type of clock management should we do? But he's shown it now in spurts. He's shown it off the field as well with his maturity. Is Henderson finally able to take on a bigger piece of this offense with Ramondre Stevenson sidelined for now?
Yeah, right now, starting running back. Even when Ramondre Stevenson's back, I want TreVeyon Henderson as the starting running back. I don't care about whatever pass pro issues or whatever rookie stuff. Who's the most explosive back you have on the team? Because right now, this isn't you're building, you're bringing guys along. You are an 8-2 team. You just beat the Buccaneers, who are very good. You have now wins over 2 very serious teams. So at this point, you are to a degree. I still think the Chiefs, the Bills, the Ravens are above, right? you're to a degree a contender, which means the best players need to play the most snaps. And Travion Henderson is clearly your fastest, most explosive running back. That 69-yard touchdown run as a rookie, by the way, is longer than any run that Ramondre Stevenson has had in his whole career. So do you not want the more explosive guy to be on the field for more snaps? I think right now you give it to him. You have Ramondre as your change of pace, maybe 5 yards and in, give him in pass pro a little bit, but I want to see Travion Henderson get not only legit snaps, 15-plus touches a game. Like, you don't draft a running back in the second round to sit there.
For sure. And the speed on the breakaway for one of the touchdowns was clocked over 20 miles an hour. So, too, did Kyle Williams on his 72-yard touchdown catch and run. Kayshon Boutte out in the wide receiver room. We were wondering who would step up today, and it's the rookie, the third-rounder out of Washington State.
Really impressive stuff from him. I want to see him get more targets as well, right? Like, you know what you have in Matt Collins. You know that you're going to get Stephon Diggs open a ton. You have Hunter Henry. Throw it to Kyle Williams. Set up some screen. Well, you saw the speed. Give him a screen. Give him a slant early in the game. If it doesn't work, that's fine. You've been kind of playing without him for most of the season. Just keep doing what you're doing. But why not get that guy involved early? The explosiveness that he has, that Travion Henderson, and now suddenly a year down the line, 2 years down the line, because you've got a good skill position draft that came from this year, obviously with Drake May coming back, now you kind of have a sexier-looking wide receiver room, the running back, and now the rest of the league is kind of going, hey, this team has a ton of weapons. This was an impressive performance from Kyle Williams, just seeing what he can do in space, the moves that he can make, and seeing that, I want to see more from him.
Yeah, getting the ball into your playmakers' hands. I mean, you think about it, largely the Patriots' offense was bogged down, stuck in the mud. But why do they come out with 28 points and they score close to 30 points? Is because they've got guys who can hit the home run play. All right, other side of the ball now, I want to touch on the Patriots' defense. Are they a little bit underrated? Yes, some of the quarterbacks they've played in recent weeks, guys like Dylan Gabriel and Michael Penix, Cam Ward, Spencer Rattler, they've performed on the road, and then today in their toughest test yet, against an MVP caliber quarterback, against a team that's got weapons. Yes, they were down their best running back and down their best wide receiver, but they still find ways to get it done.
They've played well. I wouldn't say they're like underrated. They're properly rated, and they've been relatively feisty, and that's kind of what you expect from Mike Vrabel teams. That's what the Titans were forever and ever. Relatively feisty defense. Mike Vrabel just never had the type of quarterback that he has in Drake May. So I don't know they're necessarily underrated, but they have players. You could definitely use a little bit more pass rush, but largely they do the job. Largely they stop Baker Mayfield and Emeka Egbuka from going crazy, but they move the ball. The Bucs can move the ball. The Bucs can score. The Bucs did move the ball. The Bucs did score. They stopped him when they needed to. They made the plays when they needed to, and that's what you want. Bend but don't break, and you get the win. You've now played two of the best quarterbacks in the league in Josh Allen and Baker Mayfield, and they've done well enough. It's not like they totally shut him down, but they did well enough to win, and that's what you want. The real test for me is later this season, not all that much later, but you're going to see Lamar Jackson, a healthy Lamar Jackson. You're going to see Josh Allen again. It's very hard to do that to Josh Allen twice. The rest of the QBs that these guys are seeing are not good.
For sure.
And Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson back-to-back, that's going to be your real test. And then when you get in the playoffs, if you see Patrick Mahomes, like, that's the guy, right? And so far, B+, like, great job against Josh Allen and Baker Mayfield, but I can't really give them a full grade until I see the totality of what you do back-to-back Allen and Jackson.
Right. Well, you have a big game in the Bills, and then you had a couple of cupcakes. And then you can gear up for the Bucs, and then it's a couple of cupcakes again, week in and week out once you get to the playoffs, or next year when they conceivably have a tougher schedule. Then maybe you can really see. All right, final topic here tonight. NFL trade deadline coming and going this week. Patriots standing pat. And when you really consider the moves of sending out Kyle Duggar and Keon White, a couple of veterans here, high draft picks, second-round picks, technically, the Patriots were sellers, Ari. Today was their first game post-deadline. Defense performed. Do you think the front office was validated with their decision to just send those two out and bring no talent in order to make a deep run?
So I think they were, because the two positions that you really needed to go after at the trade deadline, offensive line and pass rush, are very hard positions to fill. It's almost like baseball where, oh, you got to get a starting pitcher. We'll look at the prices, right? There is a lack of good offensive line play in the NFL everywhere. There's no offensive line depth anywhere in the NFL. So you see, like, around the league, when one guy goes down and then suddenly your backup right guard is terrible because, for whatever reason, over the past, like, 5 or 7 years, it's just been hard to develop and find enough linemen to have good backups. Pass rush, I could maybe go get a defensive end. But again, what were the prices? And that's where Mike Vrabel kind of said, we don't care how close we were in a trade. The prices were a little bit, prohibitive maybe from getting there. You made the plays you needed to against Baker Mayfield. So I think that validates them a bit. And then the other spot that you need, probably guard, interior line, who are you going to get?
Right.
Be realistic about
and
what you're going to be able.
not giving up.
Yeah,
that caliber.
and any bad team who's going to trade a lineman, those are not good players. And so I think it's a hard needle to thread, and I think they did a good job by not trying to do too much and give up a bunch of picks, because keep in mind, you got $50 million in cap space again next year. You can fill whatever gap you need with money.
Yeah, and maybe we don't see some of the deficiencies come to light during the regular season because they've got an easy schedule, but we'll definitely see come January as the playoffs continue to feel like we are getting closer and closer to lock status. All right, so the Patriots are riding a heater. 7 straight wins. They are about neck and neck with the Bruins for the title of the hottest team here in town, while the Celtics just can't seem to gain any sustained traction as they continue to carry on minus Jason Tatum. Down in Orlando, season magic wrapping up a 2-game set in Orlando. Anthony Simons got cooking in his home state, 25 points all before the half. We were locked at 54 going to the second. Jaylen Brown leading the way once again, team high 27, including this big-time jam, sees down a deuce going to the fourth. But they'd shoot 68% in the final 12 minutes, and of all people, Jordan Walsh wide open from the corner, and that's all nylon. 3-ball puts it out of reach with 12 seconds left. Celtics win it 111 to 107. All right, we're back here with Ari. We're talking a little.
Some great individual performances, and we were able to pull together some execution there in the second half that we didn't quite do last game. So we just got to fight to be able to get the effort, physicality, and execution, more consistently. The win and loss doesn't even matter. It's 10, 15 possessions that go your way or they don't, and you got to get better at those things over the course of an entire season. So, that's kind of where we're at. Is like we've had 36 to 40 minutes of good basketball, and we got to get better at those 15 possessions that if they didn't go our way, they would have cost us the game.
All right, we're going to talk some hoops now with Ari, and the whole point of this season, Ari, is can you survive without Jason Tatum until he's potentially back? It is a weak Eastern Conference. The Celtics right now through 11 games, 5-6, game below 500 so far to this point. Does this constitute surviving without JT?
Yeah, absolutely. It's one of the best players in the league that you're losing. Jaylen Brown is doing what he needs to do to be the leader of this team. Derek White is Derek White. Peyton Pritchard is Peyton Pritchard. The big thing is who is stepping up to fill those minutes, because Jason Tatum's going to go out there and play 36 minutes of all-star, first-team, second-team All-NBA ball, and you need someone to do something in those minutes that you're losing. So far, I've been really impressed with Josh Minott, who has never really had this kind of opportunity in his career, and he's going in, he's scoring, he's playing solid defense, and then just a rotating cast of guys. Tonight, it was Jordan Walsh hitting the big shot. Tonight, it was Luka Garza as a backup center playing well, because you lost all of those guys in the front court. And so 5-6 through 11 games, couple of wins against some solid teams. That's exactly what they're doing. They're surviving. Can you stay around 500 long enough to maybe get Jason Tatum back March, April, whenever it is he comes back, and then you kind of see what the Eastern Conference looks like? Because I'm not scared of anybody in the Eastern Conference. A fully healthy Celtics team with Jason Tatum, with Jaylen Brown, with these guys now that are filling in the minutes, having some opportunity to work on the type of fit that they can be next to a player like Jaylen Brown, next to the Pritchards and the Derek Whites. I think this is a team that, again, given Jason Tatum healthy enough to be 80%-ish a version of what he is, and then maybe you get some improvement from the younger guys. Why couldn't this team make a run in the Eastern Conference playoffs? Who is scaring you in the Eastern Conference? The Pacers were the ones that made the run last year. Knicks are solid, but, this isn't the West.
Yeah, the only thing is going to be if you face a team, we were talking about this off air earlier, with a really good front court. That's really the Celtics' weak spot. If you go up against the Knicks, you go up against the Cavs, potentially the Bucks with Giannis and Miles Turner. But, all right, second topic here, the Celtics' final one of the night on the hardwood, identifying pieces for the future. We know how much talent that the Celtics lost. Jason Tatum, Kristaps Porzingis, Jrue Holiday, you go down the line. Of some of the guys you just mentioned in your first answer, Ari, who might have the highest ceiling of a piece that Brad Stevens and Joe Mazzulla could go, wait a minute, this is a guy who could be ready for the 26-27 season when Jason Tatum's fully healthy at the start of a season?
Well, as an Iowa fan, I want to say Luka Garza, but being realistic here, it's Josh Minott for sure. I love the two-way guy that can hit the three, play some defense / do a bunch of different things, and that's kind of what they need. Like, you know that you're going to get your minutes from Peyton Pritchard. You know what Derek White can do. Front court guys, I'm just not seeing it. Mish Keita has been really good, too. But in terms of playing, like, the heavy, serious playoff minutes, it's got to be Josh Minot who can do a bunch of different things and fill in a whole bunch of different roles for this team. And so with Jason Tatum being out and allowing different guys to eat those minutes, I think Minot's kind of been the guy that's flashed a little bit.
All right, we're going to put the Celtics on the back burner. Time to flip it over to the other team that calls the Garden home. The Bruins riding their roller coaster, currently winners of 6 in a row. Here's President Cam Neely speaking last night on the state of his black and gold.
Obviously, come out of training camp, win the first 3. Then it's not an excuse, but just the schedule didn't permit us to practice as much. So new coach, new system. We kind of got lost a little bit during a road trip where we couldn't really practice, more travel. The guys seem to be a little bit more dialed in now, and you know we're coming off a nice stretch, and hopefully tonight we can continue that.
All right, Neely seems to be encouraged by his Bees now that they've had some time to get some practice in. The guys are buying into Marco Sturm's system. They've certainly run hot and cold this season, Ari, but are we seeing enough of the highs to believe that this is sustainable moving forward and make a real playoff push?
Yeah, why not? I mean, they're going out, they're beating good teams and scoring a ton of goals. This is a team that was supposed to be defense first, grind it out. They even have an award called the Grinder. But this has not been grinding hockey for a lot of these games. Yes, they've won a lot of close shootout, overtime, that kind of thing. But this last game, like if you're just going off this last one against what is a pretty good Maple Leafs team with star caliber players, this team can score. This team can defend enough. Like they were giving up goals in the power play. If you don't have a power play, they're beating the Maple Leafs 5-on-5. Austin Matthews is a superstar, and you're going out and beating that team. Pasternak's been good. And then some of these guys filling in. Husnaghinov has been good without Elias Lindholm. The defense has done enough. Swayman's solid. Like, you have enough of a team that I think, despite what happened last year, you could maybe expect playoff hockey in Boston.
Yeah, when you have pillars between the pipes on your blue line and up top like they have in Swayman, McAvoy, and Pasternak, you really only need some contributions around them to really, be able to, contend in the Eastern Conference. And in the NHL, a league where half the teams make the playoffs, that's a pretty low bar. All right, he's 7's Ari Alexander. Welcome to Boston. Should be a lot of fun here, catching the squads at a good time, especially the Patriots. We're going to take a break here on Sports Extra. When we return, it's back down to Tampa. 12-year NFL veteran Morgan Moses cannot speak highly enough about the Patriots rookies for stepping up their games when called upon.
I tell everybody, man, these rookie class that we have, they're not really rookies, man, because they come in with a professionalism that I haven't seen before as rookies. And, it's kudos to the guys that's in their rooms.
The elder statesman on the offensive line always tells it like it is. We'll get some more real talk from one of the leaders on the hottest team in football when Sports Extra returns.
Chief Meteorologist Jeremy Reiner, only on the news station.
All right, we're back here on Sports Extra, and Morgan Moses has seen plenty across his dozen NFL seasons. The big offensive tackle serving as a mentor and a leader for a Patriots team hitting fast forward on their rebuild. 7's Marley Weir to spend a few minutes with the 12-year vet in the winning locker room down in Tampa.
All right, 7 straight wins. You guys are undefeated on the road. Just how good does this one feel?
It feels great. Anytime you can go on the road and get a win is big for us. And obviously against a great opponent, they got a lot of great players, a great head coach over there that's been in the league for a long time. So to be able to get this win is big for us.
How about that rookie class? They really showed out today.
No, 100%, man. And that's what we've been preaching to them, all season is that, obviously, things might not fall your way, but the opportunity, if you just keep on working hard every day and keeping your head down and asking questions, your number is going to get called and you'll be able to shine like they did today.
They talked about that as well, just staying ready for their moment. And Kyle Williams heading into today, he had 2 receptions. His third one is a 72-yard touchdown to the house. How much did he embody that, staying ready for his moment?
It's I tell everybody, man, these rookie class that we have, they're not really rookies, man, because they come in with a professionalism that I haven't seen before as rookies. And it's kudos to the guys that's in their rooms. Obviously, I told Trey, Ramondre's been a big piece, just helping those guys out. Diggs has been a big piece, helping those guys out in the locker room and in meetings. So when you have that opportunity where your number is called, just things happens when you work out, when you go into work every day and just keep your head down and work hard. And
speaking of Diggs, how about that little toe tap there in the end zone on the 4th down play? How cool was that?
I told him, man, I said, look, man, we got to win our one-on-ones, and we'll take care of the line of scrimmage, and obviously, he came out big, obviously, and this is what we expect from him as a player. He's been a hell of a player, a hell of a teammate for us, and we just got to keep on pushing.
Seems like Drake May gets better and better each week. What are you guys seeing out of your quarterback?
I mean, that's our guy, man. We tell him all the time, man, no matter what, wrong or right, we're always going to roll with you. We always got your back. And when you're able to have, 10 guys in the huddle that has your back like that, it allows you to play with relentless fear, And so when he, goes out there and dials things up, man, we're not surprised because that's what he does every day at work.
And this isn't the first time he's had some MVP chance coming his way. I don't know if this maybe was the first time it's happened on the road, but what do you think of that?
He's a great player, man, and he's more humble than anything. And when you have a quarterback that doesn't, feed into those chances, but just knows that he wants to play football and he wants to execute the right way every play, this is what happens.
All right, Road Warriors.
Yeah, here you go.
Big smile there from Morgan Moses. We appreciate his time, and our thanks to Marley as well. We'll be right back to wrap up this edition of Sports Extra after one last break.
This week on In Depth, we're in Jacksonville with Tim Tebow. The former Heisman winner reflects on his miracle birth.
He told my mom, he says, I don't know how your baby's still alive.
And his mission that transcends the game.
How can we fight back against the evil in the darkest places and make as big of a dent in it as possible?
Plus, we braved the elements on the golf course.
I can't see it. How'd you do? I don't think it's too bad.
All that's coming up next on In Depth right here on 7 News.
7 News Today in New England, weekdays from 5 to 11 a.m. When you turn to the news station, you'll be the first to know.
Federal investigators tracking down a man accused of setting off a pipe bomb at an ATM in Woburn. Police arrested the man in a Stoneham neighborhood.
And get exclusives you'll only see here.
Just One Station was there as an Uber driver in distress was consoled after telling police she was attacked by a passenger. She also says the attacker got away with her car. A witness says she ran to him for help.
Comes in screaming, traumatized. You won't miss a thing when you watch 7 News.
All right, we're out of time here tonight on Sports Extra. Busy front part of the week coming up. Zdeno Chara, Jack Parker, and Jennifer Botterill set for induction into Hockey's Hall of Fame tomorrow. Bruins and Celtics home Tuesday and Wednesday, respectively. And the Patriots, they've got the Jets on Thursday looking for an 8th straight win. Thanks so much for staying up late with us tonight, and have a great night.